a shocking rumor is making the rounds. North Korea's Air Force is working on a truly scary mega-project. Defense watchers are buzzing about strange new aircraft, cutting-edge radar systems, and unexpected leaps in aerial technology. Could this mean a major power shift in the region? Let's take a closer look. Secret mega-project, North Korea's breakthrough. In late 2023, experts noticed something unusual at Pyongyang's airport, a Russian Il-76 cargo plane with a large radar dome perched on top. This wasn't just any modification. It looked like North Korea was developing its own airborne early warning and control aircraft, also known as AEW&C. These flying radar stations can spot enemy planes, ships, and even missiles from far away, then instantly relay that information to fighter jets, ground troops, and naval forces. If North Korea gets this system working, it could dramatically boost its ability to coordinate attacks and defenses, tightening its grip on the skies. Some believe Russia may be lending a hand, possibly supplying older radar tech to jumpstart the program. So what's at stake? A lot. This new capability could shift the balance of power on the Korean peninsula. It would make airstrikes on North Korea much riskier and give Pyongyang a clearer view of any potential threats. Analysts also think this could be just the beginning. Success here might pave the way for future upgrades, including advanced aircraft or even surveillance drones. In a region where every new weapon raises tensions, this new plane could be a big deal for North Korea's military plans. The mysterious Hwasong-17 ICBM. Imagine a colossal missile rolling through city streets at night, taller and wider than anything before it. That's the Hwasong-17. It appeared in a big parade, sparking alarm among experts. Some think it could carry multiple warheads or fake targets to trick defense systems and might reach over 15,000 kilometers, enough to cover most of the US. No one's sure how often North Korea can build these, but the mere idea of many such missiles overwhelms most defense plans. Step by step, the Hwasong-17 shows North Korea's growing skill in long-range rocketry. Analysts also point out that a missile of this size suggests advanced engine technology or imported components. If North Korea perfects its manufacturing methods, it could mass-produce them faster than expected, forcing rivals to scramble for better missile interceptors. The presence of such a huge missile in a public parade is a statement. Pyongyang wants the world to see it's unafraid to invest in large-scale deterrence. Hwasong-14, the missile that shocked the world. On America's Independence Day in 2017, North Korea launched the Hwasong-14, its first known intercontinental ballistic missile. People were stunned. How did North Korea reach that level so fast? Suddenly, American cities seemed within striking distance. Although later tests fine-tuned its design, this single demonstration changed how the world saw North Korea's missile program. Whether it can reliably carry a nuclear warhead is still debated, but the fact it flew so far so soon made governments everywhere reassess their policies on North Korea. Military experts also noted that the test showcased surprising accuracy, suggesting North Korean engineers had either made a technological leap or received outside assistance. As tensions rose, countries like the US and South Korea stepped up missile defense drills. In effect, the Hwasong-14 forced a shift in global thinking. Pyongyang was no longer just a regional threat. It had reached a new, more dangerous stage of missile development. Pokpang-ho, North Korea's homegrown battle tank. Missiles grab headlines, but North Korea also wants stronger ground forces. Enter the Pokpang-ho tank, built from older Soviet T-62 and T-72 models combined with local tweaks. Some versions might even have extra weapons on the sides. Critics doubt this tank can match modern Western or South Korean armor, given unknowns about its targeting systems and engine power. Still, in a nation under tough sanctions, building a fresh tank design is a big deal. If they can produce a lot of these, the Pokpang-ho may become the backbone of North Korea's army assaults. Observers also wonder if the tank has any form of reactive armor or upgraded sights for nighttime combat. Even a limited improvement in mobility or firepower could be significant on the battlefield. By showing off new tank variants, North Korea signals it can adapt not just in missile tech, but in conventional warfare too, an important factor if large-scale ground conflicts ever flare up on the peninsula. Expanding SLBM ambitions, the Sinpo-class submarine. Blurry satellite images and short video clips reveal the Sinpo-class submarine, North Korea's test platform for launching ballistic missiles from underwater. It's smaller than most ballistic missile submarines, but each test underwater is a big leap for a country with limited resources. If future models become bigger and more advanced, North Korea could gain a truly hidden way to launch nuclear missiles. That possibility alone makes East Asian security experts very nervous. Even with just one or two operational ballistic subs, Pyongyang could keep adversaries guessing about their location. Some analysts say the Sinpo class might also help test new submarine technology, like quieter propulsion systems. If successful, North Korea could eventually deploy submarines capable of traveling farther and staying submerged longer. Such a breakthrough would give Pyongyang a second strike capability, meaning they could retaliate even if ground launch sites were destroyed. That's a game-changing twist in a region already on edge. Hypersonic leap, the race for ultra-fast weapons. North Korea may also be aiming for hypersonic missiles, ultra-fast weapons that can travel over 5 times the speed of sound and dodge most defenses. Actual details are scarce. No big parades or test videos have confirmed it. Still, the idea alone worries other nations. If North Korea pulls it off, stopping these missiles could be nearly impossible. Has Pyongyang gotten outside help, or is it homegrown engineering? Nobody knows. But if they succeed, it changes defense planning worldwide. Some experts say hypersonic devices require advanced materials that can handle extreme temperatures, suggesting a steep learning curve. Others think North Korea might adapt existing rocket engines for short bursts of hypersonic travel. Either way, the potential speed and agility of such weapons would challenge even modern anti-missile systems. In a tense environment like the Korean Peninsula, just the rumor of hypersonic progress stokes fear that Pyongyang's future arsenal may outpace today's conventional defenses. Nodong missiles, the unsettling medium-range arsenal. While super long-range missiles get the spotlight, the medium-range Nodong missiles remain vital for North Korea. Based on older Soviet designs, these missiles can reach nearby countries like Japan and carry either conventional or nuclear warheads. Mobile launchers can hide in North Korea's rugged terrain, making it tough for opponents to track or destroy them. Even though newer, flashier missiles exist, the reliable Nodong arsenal still represents a serious threat in any conflict. Observers note that Nodong missiles have been tested multiple times, proving they can be launched on short notice. Each test also refines Pyongyang's ability to coordinate attacks from diverse locations. Some analysts suggest that if tensions rise, Nodongs could be fired in salvos to overwhelm defense systems. Because they're easier to produce than more advanced ICBMs, Pyongyang might focus on stocking up, ensuring a constant deterrent at various ranges. This makes the Nodong family a cornerstone of North Korea's military planning. The KN-25 multiple launch rocket system. When North Korea tested its KN-25 rocket system, observers were surprised by its size and range. Each launcher can fire 4 to 6 large rockets that can travel hundreds of kilometers, possibly hitting key military sites. What shocked experts more was the accuracy North Korea claimed in some tests. If that proves true, the KN-25 isn't just random shelling. It's a precision strike tool. Since these launchers are truck-based, they can move fast, making them tricky targets. It's yet another sign that North Korea's artillery tech is growing more advanced. Analysts also worry about how many KN-25 units might be produced in the coming years. If deployed widely, they could create a lethal network of launch sites, targeting everything from military bases to strategic infrastructure. Some speculate these rockets might eventually carry smarter guidance systems, making them even more dangerous. The KN-25 highlights Pyongyang's focus on updating older artillery concepts into something far more formidable in modern warfare. Koksan, heavy artillery with a fearsome range. North Korea's Koksan self-propelled gun is famous for hitting targets up to 60 kilometers away. That means it could theoretically reach parts of Seoul from the border. It's an old design with little protection for the crew, but the massive shells can cause serious damage, especially if multiple Koksan guns fire together. They're slow, easy to spot from the air, and take a while to reload. However, the mere fact they can land shells far into enemy territory gives North Korea a psychological edge. In the event of a large-scale conflict, a barrage of Koksans could strike key facilities or command centers, forcing defenders to scramble. Some believe Pyongyang might station these guns in fortified bunkers, making them harder to neutralize quickly. Though not high-tech, they remain a potent reminder of the threat posed by conventional artillery. Even a limited deployment near the border can shift military calculations, deterring any hasty moves by opposing forces. KN-06 SAM, the Air Defense Conundrum. Surface-to-air missiles, SAMs, like the KN-06, aim to protect North Korea's skies. Based on a Russian S-300 style design, the KN-06 has vertical launch tubes and a radar system that might detect planes as far as 150 kilometers away. It's uncertain if it can handle stealth fighters like the F-35, because advanced radar systems are complex to perfect. Still, every KN-06 site forces attacking aircraft to be extra careful. Even if they're not top of the line, these systems could discourage or slow down any attack on North Korean territory. Observers also suggest that the KN-06 might be a stepping stone to an even more capable air defense. If Pyongyang refines the radar software and invests in better tracking tech, the system's performance could improve significantly. Though sanctions limit access to high-end components, North Korea has shown a knack for adapting older technology. In a region where air superiority often decides battles, the KN-06 stands as Pyongyang's attempt to level the playing field, at least enough to complicate an enemy's plans. The Il-28 bomber, old warbird still taking flight. Built in the late 1940s, the Il-28 bomber and China's H-5 variant remains a central part of North Korea's bomber fleet. They can carry up to 3,000 kilograms of bombs, possibly even nuclear devices, but they're slow and easy targets for modern jets. Yet, if North Korea used many at once or caught enemies by surprise, they could still cause real damage. Keeping them operational shows North Korea's strategy. No resource is too old to discard. Everything can still serve a purpose. Some analysts believe Pyongyang might modify these planes for specialized missions, like dropping propaganda leaflets or testing smaller precision bombs. Others suggest they could serve as decoys, drawing enemy fighters away from more valuable targets. Even the psychological impact of seeing a formation of these vintage bombers could rattle opponents. In a place where every advantage matters, no matter how dated the tech, North Korea finds ways to keep these planes relevant in its broader military playbook. MiG-29, the Falcon of Pyongyang's skies. Of all North Korea's outdated fighter jets, the MiG-29 is the most modern, with only a few dozen in service. Known for its agile handling, the MiG-29 can be a serious foe in dogfights, but limited spare parts and low pilot training hours reduce its effectiveness. Still, if they can keep a few well-maintained planes, North Korea can pose a real danger to less capable aircraft. The MiG-29 remains a symbol of the country's desire for at least a token force of advanced fighters. Some speculate Pyongyang might try to trade or buy parts on the black market to keep these jets flying. If the Air Force could upgrade the avionics or add newer missiles, the MiG-29 might better challenge older F-16s or other regional fighters. In a world where top-tier combat planes dominate, Pyongyang's ability to maintain even a handful of MiG-29s shows it's not giving up on air superiority altogether. Though overshadowed by ballistic breakthroughs, these fighters still matter for North Korea's overall defense plan. Taepodong-2, a glimpse into space or a looming menace. North Korea calls the Taepodong-2 a space rocket, while others insist it's basically an intercontinental missile. Early tests often failed, but later ones reportedly put satellites into orbit. Since space rockets and long-range missiles use similar technology, many countries worry that each test brings North Korea closer to reaching targets across the globe. Every new Taepodong-2 launch leaves observers asking if it's really about peaceful research or a step toward a threatening ICBM capability. Some experts note that perfecting multi-stage rockets is the hardest part of building a functional ICBM, so every partial success matters. Others question the reliability of any satellite claims, pointing out the lack of verifiable data. Nonetheless, the dual-use nature of the Taepodong-2 is exactly what unsettles neighboring nations. If Pyongyang's rocket tech improves enough to reliably orbit satellites, it might easily pivot that know-how into advanced missile development, blurring the line between space exploration and strategic weaponry. Reconnaissance satellites, eyes above the peninsula. War isn't just on the ground or in the air. North Korea aims to watch from orbit too. Spy satellites could help track troop movements, naval ships, or missile sites in real time. Even simple photos can guide strikes or map out enemy defense lines. Critics note that advanced satellite operations need strong ground stations and secure communication links, difficult under sanctions. But even the hint of North Korea looking down from space changes how enemies plan their moves. Observers wonder if Pyongyang's satellite launches are also a testbed for ballistic tech, as launching a satellite requires similar stages. Others believe North Korea's slow but steady progress could mean within a few years it may have a working network to gather real-time intelligence. Whether or not these satellites perform well, the psychological effect on rival militaries is significant. Preparing for the possibility of being watched from above forces them to be extra cautious, which could be exactly the advantage Pyongyang wants. Tactical nuclear weapons, redefining the battlefield. We usually picture huge nukes wiping out entire cities, but North Korea might also be developing small tactical nukes for use on short-range missiles or artillery. This approach could make any local fight extremely risky, as a small skirmish could suddenly go nuclear. Details are secret, but Pyongyang hints at success shrinking warheads. By having both big and small nukes, North Korea keeps opponents guessing, raising fears that even a minor conflict could blow up in seconds. Literally. Some experts say tactical nukes might be easier to deliver but harder to control in a battlefield situation. Others worry about command and control protocols. Would local commanders have authority to use them, or does it all revert to top leadership? Regardless, this development suggests North Korea is looking for flexible nuclear options to deter invasions or respond quickly if threatened. Once tactical nukes are deployed, the risk of escalation grows dramatically, making conflict scenarios far more complex. The Hwasong-15, pushing the limits of range. In late 2017, the Hwasong-15 soared higher than any of Pyongyang's earlier rockets before landing in open water. Experts say it might be able to reach most of the US mainland if launched at a normal angle. Its large size suggests room for bigger or multiple warheads. Critics say it wasn't flown on a typical path, so full capabilities remain untested. Still, each launch adds to North Korea's knowledge base. Seeing such a huge rocket on an 11-axle truck showed the world that North Korea's long-range arsenal is no fantasy. Analysts compare it to a direct warning shot, indicating Pyongyang could keep refining its ballistic abilities. Some wonder if the missile can handle re-entry without burning up, but each test presumably teaches the engineers more. If the Hwasong-15 can eventually carry multiple warheads, that would strain any missile defense system. For now, it's enough to make world leaders tread carefully whenever North Korea readies a new test, knowing that its range might soon be more than just theoretical. Unpredictable strategies, the future of North Korean warfare. After displaying these missiles, tanks, subs, and more, how might North Korea really fight if war loomed? Some believe it would strike fast and force opponents to negotiate before a strong counterattack forms. Others point to a nuclear umbrella strategy. If regime change is threatened, North Korea might use nuclear weapons to keep enemies back. Cyber attacks are another tactic, taking out power grids or financial networks without firing a shot. Because the country's actions are so hard to predict, neighbors and distant rivals stay on guard, unsure if new military gear is real or just a bluff. Meanwhile, covert infiltration by special forces could hit key bases, buying time while larger weapons are prepped. Analysts also suggest Pyongyang might stage false alarms to sow confusion, preventing a coordinated response. All of these possible plans come together in a complex puzzle of intimidation and deterrence. In a world where clarity is crucial for peace, North Korea's unpredictability remains its biggest advantage. Covert operations and cyber tactics, the hidden threats. Beyond the rockets and tanks we see in parades, North Korea also relies on elite special forces and cyber warriors. Special ops teams can sneak across borders, while hacking groups target banks and government networks, stealing money or secrets. Such operations cost less than building huge missiles and can be launched quietly. In a crisis, these hidden strategies could undermine an enemy's defenses before the first missile is even launched. It's a reminder that North Korea's power doesn't just come from hardware, but also from the shadows. Some believe these cyber cells have targeted cryptocurrency exchanges to skirt sanctions, funneling funds into weapons programs. Others worry that special ops might sabotage ports or communication lines well ahead of any formal conflict. Even if these activities don't make headlines like missile tests, they showcase a far-reaching strategy. In essence, North Korea's silent moves could cripple an enemy's morale and infrastructure, making them just as formidable as any ballistic threat. Despite all these fearsome weapons, only time will tell how North Korea might use them. Each new development, whether a tank rollout or a missile test, reminds the world of how quickly the security picture can shift. Thanks for watching.